live every night on the Halos in the Infield Baseball Network.
Think about it. We'll get into everything that we're going to get into as we go along, but I got to rant real quick. But why would you throw out an inexperienced pitcher in a game you're still close in? And I don't care what the record is. You show up for a fucking rivalry game. But he's actually talking to him constantly. That is a sign of a really, really good coach.
It's the ToddFox Postgame Podcast with your host, ToddFox.
Because the only thing I want to yell is fuck! Oh boy, it's been 3 times in a row where I'm yelling fuck! Oh yeah. Hold on. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. No camera right now as we are... I hate my life sometimes. I mean, I know it sucks to say that, but let's see. There we go. Okay, we're back. We're back in live. It just happens to go that way sometimes. I haven't even fixed the lighting, so there. We're back. How's it going, everybody? It is the ToddFox Postgame Show. I'm finally being shown, hopefully, here. Audio's looking good. The camera decided to screw up. Lula just totally tore up everything in the computer. So if you're looking to get the Instagram going or be on Instagram, for me to be on Instagram, that's not happening. And before I get into the great game that was today, which if you wasted your Sunday like I did today, you're probably kicking yourself in the ass and wanting to recoup and do something more important as the day goes on. So with that being said, 714 Tickets is your place to go to put in the promo code HITI, H-I-T-I, to get 10% off of that set purchase of tickets, whether it's concerts, baseball, sporting events, however you want to go. They will take care of you courtesy of us and 714 Tickets, plus give you 5% off of your next purchase and get you into a drawing to win a jersey just as clean as this one at the end of the month. So let's get into it. What happened today? The Angels lose again. And to Boston, the Chowderheads were 5-7 coming into the series. The Angels were 7-5. Obviously, the script has flipped. They have lost 3 straight to the Boston Red Sox, and all in different ways. And again, if the Angels win the first 2 games, a loss like this is kind of acceptable. You could sit back and say, tip your cap. You lost to a good outing right there by Boston. They had a good pitching performance. You had a good pitching performance by your own pitchers, Reed Detmers. You wanted him to bounce back from his last start. He sure did. And this is how the Angels should have approached the Boston Red Sox this entire series, because the Boston Red Sox have, again, with the exception, well, now they have a couple guys who are hitting over 200 now that weren't hitting over 200 prior to this series because the Angels allowed those guys to get on base. They made several key errors in the last 2 games. You had Theis's embarrassing performance. You had Tepera, who went out on the IL just the other day because of what happened yesterday. And then you couple that in the fact we got Neto up here. He went 0 for 4, hit into a couple double plays yesterday. Well, he says, hold my beer, let me do it again. And he hits into a couple double plays, and it sucks. And I don't want to call out the rookie because he is the second rookie we have on this team. And that last at bat he had in the, I think it was the 8th inning or maybe it was the 9th inning, and he lifted his leg and hit it a nice line drive to center field. He hit the ball. He's hit the ball really hard, but he's hit it right at people, just like Gio Urshela. And we'll get to Gio Urshela in a minute. It just seems like so far in this series or in this season, you've had missed opportunities, you've had errors, you've had base running blunders, you've had guys who should be bunting, not bunting, hitting the other way, moving guys over, and our opponents are doing all of the things that I've said done. And the line drives are dropping in for them. How many singles did you see today that Boston got those bloop hits that fell right in front of Trout, fell right in front of Renfroe, and it was working for them? However, the Angels tried doing it, doesn't work. It's just as flat as can be. Flat as a pancake, doesn't work. We hit it right to people. The balls hang up just enough so that the other outfielders can make the play. It's been frustrating. If you're an Angel fan, and like today, this game was just flying by. And you're figuring at some point we got to scratch across the run. At some point we got to put a little rally together. Well, every time you got somebody on base, you hit into a double play. Then the inning was over, and then you can't just blame it on that because then you turn around and Reed Detmers was inducing double plays himself. Hell, Andrew Wentz came in fresh off of being called up from Salt Lake, replacing Tapera. He comes in there, throws one pitch, boom, double play. The pitching kept you in it all game. And so that's what's frustrating. You can put up a crooked number the other day and do absolutely dog shit the next day. Just because it fits that game's narrative and it doesn't work with what you want to do to get you a victory, it seems like whatever they need to do, the key thing to excel and to win set particular game, they don't do. Which, if you're given an opportunity to take advantage of something, the first couple times you hit into a double play, well, hey, let's swing away. Well, hey, let's put a guy in motion. Well, hey, let's switch up. You haven't done that. So again, you have 8 losses to where a lot of people think that we should have 2 at this point. Let's just take that away and say we'll take one of those losses in this series and be up 2-1. That's fine. You'd be sitting there right now still at 10-7? Not too bad. Or not 10-7, I'm sorry. You take away 2 of those games, it'd be 10-6. But now you're sitting there, you're 7-8. I don't know, my math is off. I'm sorry. Either way, look. The thing is, we'd be in a better spot than what we're in right now. 9-6. There you go. We'd be 9-6. You've had some games you've blown. We went over this yesterday. I went into a whole rant about the pitching and then the hitting not coming through. It just seems to me it's been convenient. And each one of these 3 games can just sum up the season so far. Coming up short in all 3 games, making the closers or even the closer by committee today because Jansen pitched 2 games in a row look absolutely fantastic. And for all those out there, again, you can love Trout, you can love Ohtani, and I'm not taking anything away from any fan that thinks that they're the greatest player because I do think Trout is the GOAT at this point. He will get there and be a surefire Hall of Famer with some of the best numbers and best players you've ever seen in your career in life. But there is 2 things that you could hold against Trout. Never made a World Series or a playoff run. You could blame that on the team. You could blame that on an organization. I don't hold that against him, okay? Because it is a team game. It's not like the NBA where he could just take himself to the finals and you could blame Kobe for not making the postseason. You could blame LeBron for not making the postseason. That's all justified. Baseball, you need a whole roster. So automatically, whenever someone brings that up, I poo-poo that. But what I will get on Trout for being is non-clutch. Non-clutch. He is not a clutch player. And then you say, Todd, don't just rag on Trout. Rag on Ohtani. Okay, he's not a clutch player. He can't come through with a big hit. Last big hit for him was 2020. Where were they in the 9th inning? Every opportunity to be Han Solo. So okay, we're tired of them being Han Solo during the regular season. But when you want to be Han Solo, why don't you do it then? If you're that fucking clutch, why don't you come up with at least a hit? Trout didn't come close to even getting the ball anywhere close to tying that game or even getting on base. Lazy fly ball. Or it would have been. He popped out or he popped foul and then he struck out. And then it was a lazy fly ball by Ohtani. So don't give me this shit about they're the greatest players right now. They got a lot to prove. They still got a lot to prove when it comes to the clutch factor. They are great players. They're probably one of the, number 1 and number 2, number 1A, number 2A in all of baseball. But until you come through in a clutch situation, and especially, and don't give me that early on in the season bullshit. Where was it last year when you had opportunities to win the game? When the pitching was on its peak performances last year? Hell, my boy Suarez, who everyone makes fun of me about, he was pitching his ass off last year. Did any of those guys come up clutch? Nope. And okay, you don't want to blame Ohtani and Trout. You don't want to put this on them. Well, Neto hit into a bunch of double plays. That's non-clutch. Ohapi couldn't get a hit, but he hit it pretty good to the gap. Again, another one of those where you're hitting it really good, but right at somebody. That's not clutch? Well, debatable. But he still hit it pretty good. At least they're putting the ball in play. Those guys are doing more, and even Rendon, than what Trout and Ohtani are doing right now. And I'm going to say it right now. We're living in the now. I don't give a shit what they did last year, because last year don't count. It's all about this year. So what are their numbers right now? Again, you got the Rookie of the Year candidate with better numbers than Trout and Ohtani. It's early, yes. Will that maintain the rest of the season? Hell no. But for right now, the reasons why we're not getting these opportunities, our two biggest bats in the lineup aren't doing shit. Or at least when there's guys on base. Or at least when there's clutch situations. So today, the offense gets the glare. Today, the offense gets the magnifying glass put on them because they didn't do nothing. This is not the Yankees of the 90s where they could throw out these incredible pitchers. This is the Boston Red Sox wearing blue and yellow throw-up diarrhea jerseys. And we're still making them look way better than we are. And you wonder where the frustration comes from Angel fans like myself and others who take this shit to the heart. Because you're sitting there, like all of us, for 3 hours watching a game just hoping something would turn around. You know, you're investing your time and effort to watch this game and like, come on, man, let's go. But no, I mean, 2-1. You lose to Boston. Again, if you lose this game after winning the last two, it's acceptable. Because everybody can't have a good night. You can't have your offense out there scoring 6 or 7 runs. But when your offense was scoring you 6 or 7 runs, you shouldn't be giving up 8 or 9. And then when you turn around and you shut them down, you should be able to at least put up a crooked number, but then you don't. See, again, everything is working in the favor of the Boston Red Sox right now. And then when the Angels are playing into everything they have to make it work that way. I would not be shocked if we put up a 0 tomorrow. Meaning not Ohtani giving up a 0. I'm saying Ohtani give up 1 run. Do what Detmers did today. Make one stupid mistake to the most punchable guy on the Boston Red Sox. I hate Josh Turner. I know that sounds bad. But he's just a guy that if I saw him at a bar, I'd want to punch him. Whether I was inebriated or not. He just has that face. And he was the face of the Dodgers for so long, I couldn't stand that mother effer. So I wanted to punch him every time. So I'm not going to sit there and say, man, you know, when he got hit in the face with that ball, like, I grinned. I did it. That sucked. Nobody wants to see that. But I would say that, yeah, if I would have punched him in the face, it would look like how he got hit in the face of the baseball. Just saying. I don't like the guy. I have every right to not like the guy. And then when he got the winning home run today, that makes me hate him even more. One mistake Detmers made, and we could only muster a run on him. Only one on the Red Sox pitcher. Let's get into the words before I get into all the comments. It's just been one of those days. It's been one of those weekends. And we got one more game with these assholes tomorrow. Yes, assholes. Let's get into the Stamos Award given to the best player on the field. Thank you to Randy for coming up with a more updated version of the Stamos Award. There's definitely more John in this one. I like what Randy did right there. But the Stamos Award for best player on the field is going to go to Whitlock. Whitlock, he just shut the Angels down. And again, this isn't Roger Clemens in his heyday. This isn't freaking Kershaw, regular season Kershaw. Hell, this wasn't even postseason Kershaw. At least we would have had a chance against postseason Kershaw. No, Whitlock just shut us down. 1 run, 4 hits. And Reed Detmers pitched well enough to get a victory today. I mean, he put up a Patrick Sandoval start from last year. Just no run support whatsoever. Great game for him. So this one really pisses me off because I'm going to give now the Nacho Award. Nacho Award for the worst player on the field, presented to you by Paul Sereno, worst what is it called? Hitting instructor in all of baseball. This one's really hard for me, and because there was 4 different players I could have given this to. And let me explain this. It's been a little difficult the last couple days because I've given it to a guy that's helped out both teams. You know, I gave it to Renifo, who obviously gave the game away game 1, and then also was the Nacho Award winner for us because he hit into double plays or he struck out with guys on base, left 6 guys on base, and then we shared one the other night. I could have given it to Neto today, because the 2 double plays, the line out, the strikeout. I could have given it to Trout for his non-clutchness with 2 strikeouts. I could have given it to Ohtani for just having a ho-hum, turn it in, mail it in type game, 0 for 4. All those guys, the number of 1, 2, and 3 hitters, 0 for 12. I could have given it to them. But I'm going to give it to a guy that you had one job. Because we don't know how that inning would have ended. We don't know if I think it was Ohapi that was after him. Or it was Renifo was after him. We don't know or Ohapi, I think, was up, if they would have came through, or Drury was up. We don't know if one of those guys would have came through. Either way, you don't run yourself out of an inning. You're basically brought here for two reasons, Phillips, and that is, one, to be a base running specialist and an outfield defensive replacement. We're not looking for you to start. I mean, when you start, hell, you had one of the best games of your career without really getting a hit. When we played in Anaheim, you just got on with a couple walks, made a nice little defensive play. That's good. That's your job. Show up when you're asked to show up, and just don't do nothing stupid. Instead, he channeled his inner Joe Adele and got thrown out at second. You're in scoring position in a one-run game. I'm ahead of myself.
All the chips, all the cheese, all the refried beans, all the onion and tomato and the guacamole, all the beef and jalapeno and the sour cream, all the nachos. All the nachos. All the chips, all the cheese, all the refried beans, all the onion and tomato and the guacamole.
So Paul Sereno, he flew out there, made the trip, made extra nachos the other night, and he gave you a nice little helping there, Brett Phillips. Brett Phillips, you get the Nacho Night Award. You didn't even have a single at bat. You were out there for one reason and one reason only, and you fucked it up. And who knows? Maybe we would have got a bleeding single somewhere like Boston did, and maybe we would have tied up. Maybe we would still be playing right now. Or no, let me make this abundantly clear. Had we gone to extra innings, we would have lost because A, we're up first. We don't move the guy over. We waste the outs. We waste the runner, and then Boston would have walked off with a bunt and a sacrifice fly. So I'm sorry. We would have lost in extra innings. So at least you would have got us to extra innings, Brett Phillips. But no, the very thing we pay you to do, you can't hold up. This game went by pretty quick. Boston is up 3-0 in this series. So we're going to get into the comments right now. You can also, when I catch up with the comments, we'll get into phone calls, but we're going to talk about this one. Fernando says, embarrassing loss or embarrassing series so far. Double nachos for Neto. He was calling Neto for the Landon. I just laid off of Neto only because it's his second start. I believe he's going to be much better. It's a slow start. What's up? Make sure you all vote on Heedy Weekly Wrap-Up for Player of the Week for the Instagram stories. Randy's putting that out there. 11 more till we lose 14. Bro, the lighting, the lighting was bad right there when I first started getting on. Also, what happened to the TV? Well, I had an issue with the laptop. So the laptop is going to be, because I had an HDMI cord to it with a background. I was uploading this program and it got a virus. So I'm cleaning out the virus, trying to get that working in between watching the Angels suck all day today. So hopefully the laptop's up, and for tomorrow, hopefully I'll have some highlights or at least some player pictures when I'm doing my breakdown of the game, plus the logos up there, and it'll look much cleaner. So for today, the TV's off. So technical issues continue for Todd. Two goats did not come through again today. Ryan says exactly. Robert says sad getting some quality starts and no offense. Absolutely. Also, Honk the Ohapi Honk. He's been legit. Would be nice having him at the bottom of the lineup yesterday. Yes, he should have been out there again. But, guys like Nevin and other people are going to enable him and say he can't catch every day, even though he can. Big shout out to Big 20. How you doing? No, Neto, Trout, Renfroe, and Ohtani get nachos 0 for 15. You know what? And that's the thing, too. 0 for 15, you had some pretty ugly strikeouts by Renfroe today. I mean, come on, dude. After the first strikeout, I was like, okay, that one's outside slider. I could see him trying to golf it to right field or whatever. But he did it. He proceeded to do it 2 more times out there. And Randy says those balls will eventually fall. And speaking of balls, our boy has to chime in here in a second. Hold on. He's trying to knock on the door right now, because whenever I mention balls, he gets really excited. So let's see. Where is he right now? He is there he is. Okay, all right. Hold on. Here's the mic.
Tonight, it's time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
Okay, we already got to the Stamos Award. Man, I swear to God, Roger's so horny for balls. Boston is playing with emotion this weekend for the bombing victims. It's 10 years since that happened. Exactly. And if you want to see a good documentary, go on, what is it called? I was going to say Napster, Netflix, and check out the bombing over there. It's pretty crazy. I didn't know half the stuff that happened on that story. So it was very informative and a very good documentary about the Boston Marathon bombing. These games are a definition of a joke. Yes, they are. Landon, it was very troubling watching this team play out there. Got to be consequences for these umpires expanding the zone on Neto, forcing him to swing at bad pitches out of the zone and trying to expand his zone in 2 strikes. MLB has to do better. Robert, this entire 3 series that have just passed, including this one, have been terrible with umpires having the most inconsistent strikeouts I've ever seen. There's times where you'll see a crew come in there and just stink up a series, yes. But usually the following series, MLB makes up for it and you kind of get things squared away. Okay, so you have back-to-back bad series with Toronto and Washington. But it's carried over into this Boston one with yet another crew sucking really bad as far as calling strikes and balls. And it's terrible. And so it has led to more aggressive swings by hitters that normally would be holding back on pitches. And it's also helped some of the pitchers to hit their strike zones, but then it's obviously had reverse aspects on the next night because then another umpire is pinching the pitchers, and it's actually advantage the hitters because today was a hitter's nightmare with the umpires today. They were giving all the strikes to the pitchers. Jesus is still on the fire Phil Nevin thing. One more loss that could have been a win, and you call yourselves professionals, Sonic says. Oh, I've been playing that Sonic Collections a lot lately, but I will play it maybe later in the show. Nevin isn't getting fired, Sean says. I feel like Phil called out. I'm not calling you out. Thomas Chin says, don't give up on this, Todd. I'm not giving up on us at all. It's just frustrating. And believe me, if I were to give up, guys, I would have gave up last year. With all the BS, with the hitting, with all the squid starts, I mean, I was growing out my hair to tear it out. It was terrible. I did not. I mean, if I can hang with it, if Fernando can hang with it, Randy and everyone on our page, James on down the line, have stuck through thick and thin this long, it's going to take a shit ton of more bad stuff to happen to this franchise and organization for us to even think about falling off. We're fans first. And that's why we're so freaking aggressive, or we're so freaking passionate about posts or just how the team plays, because it's frustrating. Again, you spend 3 hours of your day or 2 hours, however it's going nowadays, following this team, posting about this team. If you're not a part of this page, you're still like looking on other pages. You want to get the best news, what's going on. You follow this team. You pay money to go to the games. You have every right to be emotional, upset, frustrated, happy when they win. Because believe me, we've said this since we started this page. Nothing would make us more happy than this team to be contending and in first place or second place with a wild card or division championship up for grabs. Nothing would make us more happier. But we haven't gotten to that point yet. And when you get teased with a good roster that should be smarter than the last couple years, and they haven't shown their full capabilities yet, or they're super inconsistent when we thought the inconsistency crap was going away with Phil Nevin's new culture and Thames and Wise, and we just thought and it's not that it's over with, but just so far through 15 games, we haven't seen the change yet. We still have seen a lot of things from last year repeating itself. So yes, we are very frustrated. And yes, I feel everyone's pain in these comments. And when they talk about, damn, we're already at 7-8, we're under 500, this, and that. I get it. And that's what this page is for. That's what other pages are for too. To vent and to be upset and to give your peace of mind. So never, ever feel that you're weighing on us or that we're weighing on you or stuff like that. We're just being fans. And I think Angel fans, the bulk of them, don't understand that part. They rather just take stupid ass comments and go here with it or go there with it and fall off and say, call me later if they're in the postseason, drop off. Fine, get the hell out of here. We don't need no bandwagon fans. But they also have some stupid takes. If you're going to say or call out Trout or another player, then have something to back it up with like I did. Don't just say a blanket ass statement and then walk away. Those are the kind of fans that piss me off, Randy, Fernando, whatever, and other pages, because it's like, dude, if you got a take, back it up. Just don't be like, oh, this guy sucks. But then the next day be kissing his feet like he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. You either roll with a guy or you don't, or you rip him until he does good, and then when he's on the roll and he's where he should be, like most of these players do get to, then you stick with him. You don't go back when it's inconvenient. That's just my take. I mean, I'd rather either stick with one or the other or give a guy a chance. You can still be critical, but just don't depict his entire career over one game. So meaning if Trout strikes out 4 times, be like, he's done. He's on the downslide. We know he's going to come back with a couple home runs, or he's going to come back with a 3-for-4 game. That's a good player. Ohtani, the same thing. There has to just be a good balance in this fandom of the Angels, and they're just not. So you could say that I'm all over the place. Hey, it's your opinion, but that's what we all come on here for, to have instant reaction. So Ohtani looks real pissed off in the dugout. He ain't clutch, though. Exactly, nah, man. If you want to be pissed off, he should be 3-for-4 today with a double and an RBI. Then he has every right to be pissed off. Or he should be pitching an 8-inning game, surrendering only 1 run, and we lose that game. Then absolutely, he could be throwing stuff. He could be calling people out. I wish he would. I wish he would look at somebody and say, Ipe, and then say it in Japanese to him, and then Ipe would be like, he said, fuck you. You know, like, like, do that. Be a leader. We're screaming for anybody to be a leader in this clubhouse. We don't see that yet. That's another problem. Brian says this team has no leader and no manager with no experience. We are doomed. See, I didn't even see that comment, and then that's exactly what I was talking about. Look at the bright side, Todd. Honk, honk. I'm trying to. Otani can leave, Sonic Collection says. The chair with James Gonzalez says, I slept through much of the game. Seemed like I didn't miss much. It's true. I think I may be okay with the Otani trade. We need players, man. Hayes says, why does Mike Trout always look at the ball down the middle every first pitch? Because that's his thing. Like, you have something that you do every day, and that's part of your daily routine. Well, that's his daily routine. Let's look at a pitch right down the middle. You don't think that's the scouting report? Like, every time that a pitcher starts Mike Trout with a ball in the dirt or outside, or it's just a ball in general, I laugh. I'm like, how do you not know that, or how do you not throw the first pitch to Mike Trout down the middle? He's never going to swing. It's super rare when he swings. Hell, you could underhand it to the catcher for a strike. He ain't going to swing. He just doesn't do it. It is super rare when he does it. So, yeah, you can always be ahead 0-1 to him. I don't know why. And Randy says we need more pitching. Brian says Angels are gambling with Ohtani. If he gets hurt and we cannot trade him, it will set back this franchise 3 to 5 years. Even if we don't trade him, it'll set the franchise back 3 to 5 years. Because if you don't sign him back, you got to do one of the two. You either got to trade him or you got to sign him. Mike Trout needs to be more clutch in these matters, or when it matters, Hayes says. Dylan Ortega says, I hate our offense. Robert says, at Hayes, he's tracking the ball on the release point when there is a new pitcher on the mound. So he's talking about how he doesn't swing at the first pitch. Now, I agree and disagree with you, Robert. It's a good strategy if it's working for you and you're consistent. He is a consistent player, but he hasn't been so far. So maybe you want to change it up a little bit. That's just my opinion. I'm not calling you out, not saying you're wrong. However, maybe he should give the pitchers a different look every now and then. That's just my opinion. And especially if you're not the number one guy leading off, shouldn't the leadoff guy come over to you like he did the other day and was like, hey, man, he's throwing this pitch, and this pitch. Look out for this. And it helped him last time. That's, again, another reason why I want Trout in the number 3 spot. Number 2 spot's too high up in the lineup, especially early in the game. He's not that productive early in the game. Usually he gets going later in the game. So if you have him in the 3 spot and you have 2 batters ahead of him, those 2 batters can come back and relay the messages to him and Ohtani about what to look for. So that's just my opinion. Jesus says Angels offense is hell of a loss. What the fuck? Fire Phil Nevin. Soon their coaches are sent down. Matt Thies. I cut Neto. So wow, Jesus. Either you've had a lot to drink today, or you are a very knee-jerk reaction. Randy Yaz says Justin Turner, and then Sydney says Josh Turner. Josh. Okay, so I messed up the name. It is Justin Turner, but he looks like a Josh Turner. And I know Josh Turner is a country singer. I hate the Red Sox and their fan base. I'll agree with you right there, Jesus. Neto shouldn't be been leading off. James Malou says, yes. Wow, what a way to put pressure on this guy. I rather would have seen Ohapi at number 1 than freaking Neto. That's a lot of pressure for game 2. Not only are you bringing Neto up in Boston to deal with those fans, that small-ass stadium, and that pressure that Boston brings in general. You know, why didn't they wait to bring him up against Kansas City and Oakland? Like, why'd you have to bring him up and start him against the Red Sox, and then not only start him one game after he struggled, but put him in there as leadoff? That's irresponsible. I'm sorry. James also says, I hate the Red Sox. Also, let's see. Kiani808 says, it seems like Ohtani doesn't do well offensively the day before he pitches. That's also a trend. Philip Baker says Trout and Ohtani should be locked in after World Baseball Classic. However, they look completely overmatched against every pitcher, especially lately, yes. Like, really, we're not making the playoffs, Infinite 91 says. That's a great slide. Also, let's see. I hate when it skips like that. God damn it! All these it basically took away what I was just reading right now. Hold on a second. Give me a second. There we go. The offense can't hit out of a paper bag on a broadside of a barn, Dylan says. Also, I'm not ready for blaming Zach because he wasn't ready. Exactly. That's why I didn't give it to him. To be fair, Neto is hitting the ball hard. Those are eventually going to turn into hits. Kid's a gamer. Exactly, Randy. He's going to be a really, really good player. Brent Phillips says DFA. Nope. Well, maybe. Jesus says, give Brett Phillips, Phil Nevin the nachos. Randy says, hey, Todd, what's a Roger Lodge wanting on a gorgeous afternoon today? Or what is Roger Lodge? He's wanting balls, and John Stamos. No, it was Zach Neto after Ohapi, so basically based on Zach, so I wasn't confident, Dylan says. Also, we forgot Tyler Wade exists. Oh, jeez. Yeah, no thong for me, so I'm pretty sure that's we've already lost 3. They'd have to win the next 4 games for me to be in that red thong, and I don't see that happening. Give me something, and maybe it would happen, but I don't see it. I just don't see it. Damn, one thing after another with the equipment. I'm right there with you. That is what's been happening, dude. It's been pissing me off. Explain why we are leading off Neto. I can't explain that. That's just a dumb decision. Grillmaster says, remember when you have Ron Kupala and Corey Blaisler behind the plate, you're bound to have a bad series. Those umps have some of the worst reputations in the baseball. Little Wayne says, I won't feel sympathy when the umpires union cares or cries about lost jobs because of robo umps. They didn't police bad umpiring. You know what? Agreed. It's going to look different for baseball with a robotic umpire, but you know what? Who cares? I mean, if they're going to make more accurate calls and you're not going to be sitting back there arguing with a pitch way off the strike zone or inside or whatever like that, I'm down with that. 30 years, why would I turn away now? Might as well live out the misery, Randy says. Yeah, because you know what? When this team finally does make the playoffs and finally does reach another high, we will be loving it and we'll enjoy it just more than, you know, we're not a blessed franchise. We don't have titles every 5 years or so. So when this team actually does get one again, and I believe they will at some point, you know, whether or not Artie's around, but I believe it's going to be all the more, you know, enjoyable because it's been such a while. Also, let's see, Grillmaster talks about more umpires. Robert says, Randy, we're talking about the Angels, not the Jets. Ha ha ha, just kidding. The Jets have better runs. Callie Halo says, we need someone to go full Big Papi and annihilate something or someone in the dugout. Exactly. We do need a team leader. We need someone to cause some problems. See if you remember those names. I kind of do, but it's been a long time. Hayes says, is there any reason why Ohapi doesn't take off his mask when trying to catch a foul ball? It's what he's used to. Some catchers will throw their mask like 30 feet, and some guys will keep it in their hand, and you know, their throwing hand. And Ohapi just keeps it on. It just depends on the catcher. There really is no science behind it. Also at Hayes, I was wondering the same thing. I noticed that there's an earpiece connected to the mask. Well, there's that too. But it's not connected to the mask. It's actually over his ear. It's sort of like a hearing aid. It goes down the wire. Usually, from what I've seen, maybe I'm wrong about Ohapi, but other catchers I've seen the wire go down their shirt, and it's got like some sort of transmitter, like you would put on a sound equipment for someone that you're recording. So they've got that little box on the back side of their belt, you know. So That's what I'm thinking it is, but maybe it is in the helmet. I'm not sure because I know some players have it. Some pitchers have it in their, like I said, on their shoulder, behind their back, or they have it in their hat. It just depends on the setup. So you could be right on that one, Robert. Let's see. Also, Randy says Jets have more runs. Angels trump them with the championship in 02. Exactly. Landon says, let's see. Because it jumped again. Fire Nevin, hire Fox. Callie says Theis will bounce back and perhaps win a AAA crown. Honk, honk. Oh, God. That is like the honkiest thing you could say. I'm telling you guys, trade show. I'll start over. I'm telling you guys, trade Shohei for someone's farm. Trade, Demetro says. Trout for someone's farm. A complete reset. Dylan says, I don't know what's up with Trout. He's not handling it. His fastballs, he's striking out too much. He's just couldn't clutch up when it matters. Exactly. And that's what I've been saying about this guy. It's not that he's not a great player. It's just he hasn't been clutching at all. Grillmaster says, don't bat Neto lead off. That should have been elementary. Landon says, do you have a thong ready? I had it ready, but I don't need it now. The way they're playing, it ain't going to happen. Let's see. Balls, and John Stables, T coming as well. I don't know how Turner caught up with a fastball inside. That was, as much as I want to punch that guy in the face, he turned on it like he would turn on a punch in the face because he hit that one really good. Happy day for Steve for the thong. Oh, geez. Also, Angels will go 7-155. XNC says, no, we will win tomorrow. At least salvage one. He's calling that. Jack Chandler says, we've all seen this before. 500 baseball. Yep, we're back under 500. And then get swept by the Yankees. What was Pops saying today? Infinite 91 says, come on, 4-game winning streak. So he's still praying for that thong for some reason. Randy's on that one. Also, it says, my dad was basically, he came back late. He was out for most of the morning. He came back in the 7th inning. He goes, boy, this team looks a lot like last year. And he's already getting frustrated. And this is why he goes, this is why I didn't go to the first series of the homestand. Because I was begging him to go on the Friday. So for opening day, I wanted him to come. He didn't want to come because he's like, I got to see more from this team before I start putting faith into them. I'm like, you already are putting faith into them. You're watching them every game. And then he's like, I don't want to go with you Saturday because you're dressing like a clown. I'm like, what's the point? And it's just, I'm not going to be bothering you. I'm going to be walking around. Yeah, but I like sitting in my seat. So my dad was like, all like, there was no convincing him. And now I'm like asking him, hey, you want to go against Oakland and or Kansas City, the bobblehead game? Why would they do that when they're playing like shit? Well, he didn't say shit. I wish he would say that, but he's like, playing like crap. So, yeah. Let's see. We have been procrastinating to become a contender for 10 years, Sonic says. Exactly. Jack Chandler says, this is really bad Red Sox team, which makes it hurt more. Yeah, this isn't your rivalry Red Sox, that were pushing us for the postseason. This isn't Johnny Damon. This isn't freaking, Veritek and all those guys from those teams. Hell, this isn't even overrated, washed-up Pedroia. You want to talk about a washed-up guy. And well, yeah, he's washed up now in his last few years, I think he's retired. But you want to talk about an overrated player? Just at me at this one, I dare you. Pedroia was not even anywhere close to the best guy on those teams, and he was so pumped up and pushed out there because he talked like a chowderhead. He looked like everyone you wanted to be on the Red Sox. And he sometimes came up with a clutch hit because the Red Sox had 8 other guys that were infinitely better than him on the roster. So yeah, dude, I don't want to hear about Dustin Pedroia being so great. He was one of the more luckiest. You put him on the Royals, he disappears. At least you could look at Jeter and be like, well, if Jeter was on the Royals, he'd still be an all-star. Yeah, he wouldn't. Dude, Pedroia wouldn't be shit in this league if he was on the Royals or put him on Pittsburgh, put him somewhere else. He's one of those guys that sometimes builds a career off of other players. Comes up clutch because he's got to see better pitches in the lineup because you have so many more weapons around him. I never gave that dude credit, bro. I just, I would say, hot take, Justin Turner, the guy who'd like to punch in the face, is a way better player than Pedroia was ever. At me, because that's what I think. Also, let's see. IE Native says, I'm starting to get the 14-game losing streak vibes. Positivity is raining down in this page. Dylan says for Ohtani, he's raw talent, but he's exactly like Babe Ruth. Strikes out a lot, hits home runs. Same look as Nolan Ryan. He strikes out everyone, but a crap ton of walks too. I don't know, Dylan. He's had a couple games where he walks a lot, but I think it's way too early to be saying he's a Nolan Ryan pitcher. But and Nolan Ryan could throw about 156 pitches. So you know how you say, okay, he's not. He's better than Babe Ruth, obviously, because who Babe Ruth played, the competition and whatnot. So obviously, I hate when he's compared to Babe Ruth. But as far as like Nolan Ryan, if you're gonna compare, nah, you can't. You can't. The Express is still better than any pitcher we have seen in our generation. There's just and there never will be another Nolan Ryan ever. I don't care if you try to get one from Japan, from the Dominican, growing here in the United States. It ain't gonna happen. With the way that the way that baseball's constructed today, and the way that teams are so scared of Tommy Johns. Dude, Nolan Ryan should go to the Hall of Fame for just not having a Tommy John surgery. The fact he was able to pitch that long and that many innings and throw that many pitches per game, it's like rare when you get a guy who's red hot in the postseason in a must-win game, and the guys on every pitch after 100, the manager is biting his nails, the GM's biting his nails. Because it's like, how many more pitches? 3 more, maybe 4 more, and they're stressing on every pitch. Nolan Ryan would just be like, I'm not coming out. And you'll never see a pitcher. He once threw 200 pitches. 200 in a game. You will never, ever, ever see that again. Ever. From anybody. Never. Even if an alien came down and pitched. Air Bud was resurrected. It would never, ever happen. He was the GOAT. He was the unicorn of his time. Nolan Ryan, yes. There will never, ever be a better pitcher. And you know what hurts even more? That guy could have been an Angel for life. But at the time, the Cowboy was cheap at the time. And they made a calculated decision that they could get more back for him. And boy, did that backfire. The Cowboys started spending a lot more in the 80s, but right when they should have held on to him and they finally got him in the postseason, that's when they decided to let him go. Oh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts for longtime Angels fans. Even though I didn't see him pitch in the Angels uniform. I'm not that old. Let's see. Games last less than 2 hours now. Tickets will be free soon. That won't happen. Another common thing is Angels scored first in all 3 games and lost all of them. Also, did someone say Poppy? Yeah, check out that shirt by Randy. Hey, Randy, I would have loved it if O'Hoppe hit a 2-run home run and say that Poppy. Get it because Red Sox love David Ortiz. Yeah, put it out there by then. We will get the phone calls here in a second. Hold on, Big 20. He's always itching to call. Good, get the silky thong ready. No. See, I met Big. Bring Robo limps or umps. It said limps. Damn, that was a little iffy take on Pedroia. So what? Give us the Roger Lodge positive. It's my take, man. I mean, I still don't like that big-nosed bastard Pedroia. I just think Justin Turner's more I've seen more clutch hits from Justin Turner off of more difficult pitchers than Pedroia. Pedroia got the benefit of so many good hitters around him. You can say the same thing a little bit for Justin Turner, but he came up in clutch situations, man, and I hate that guy for that. That's one of the reasons why I hate him the most. And let's see. Damn, that was. Let's see. Also, Jim says, "Give us a Roger Lodge thing in a second." Dude, I have the same take on Pedroia. 100% agree. Cali Halo says, aside from the reliable bats not doing much, Renifo needs to be the next on the cutting block. Fletch has some bigger concerns to work on, but Renifo is worth what the front office, or is not worth what the front office, or he is worth what the front office thinks he is. Well, as far as Renifo, I want to give him a little bit more time, but boy, he needs to start balling out soon. He needs to start balling out soon because his at-bat would help this team so much at this point. Dylan Ortega says, yep, Fax is just built different, and he always has that dog in him. Also, you're pretty old, though. Shut up, Randy. Pedroia is overrated. Dylan says, also can't compete with Texas because he is a true Texan. He is, and he will always be, and he's worked in both front offices of Houston and Texas, and there's a reason why he does not claim or come back for a Angels Hall of Fame here. He's still bitter on that trade. Even though he's a Texan, there was a chance he could have played a few more years. I wouldn't say close out his career in Angel, but he could have played some pretty competitive. Imagine having Nolan Ryan in 86. You think we lose that series to Boston? I don't think so. I think we win that series and we go on to win the World Series. So imagine having a healthy Wally Joyner in that 86 series and a healthy Nolan Ryan starting those games, along with Witt and all the other Angel pitchers that were good on that team. Don Sutton. Imagine. Boston would not have stood a chance. And the Mets, the Miracle Mets, that shit wouldn't have happened. I still believe, Nolan Ryan or not, if Wally Joyner was healthy and they get past the Red Sox, they beat the Miracle Mets. And the Mets will never be ever known by as the Miracle Mets. That's just another hot take. I think the Angels would have beat them. Angels are far better than the Mets. They would have beat them. And the Cowboy would have had his one and only title. And we would have had a title by Disney a few years later. So it's just weird how one or two things here and there, not only in a baseball game, can change a baseball game, but one or two moves in the offseason or an injury late can just change history forever. That sucks. Let's see. Randy Yaw says, send your Pedroia jerseys and bobbleheads to Todd. Whatever. I can respect Turner a bit. Cal State Fullerton alum. Oh, God. Todd wants the rally. Todd really wants to wear that thong. No, I don't. I've been actually, I want this team to win. But if it came at the exempt of my privates showing, my standing out, then maybe I would have still went with it. And I probably would have been like, okay, it's worth it. When you play like this, it's like, man, here we go. Also, Jim says, stay positive. We all going to be on purple stingrays and thongs. This is what Roger Lodge has to say about being positive. Magic Johnson became part owner of the Washington team the other day, the wokest team in all of sports next to Ohio. And he is positive all the time because he lives a positive attitude. Sometimes the worst things in life can make you positive, like Magic Johnson. He's got AIDS, but he's positive. He's positive about it every day. And so that Angel fans, we've got losing problems and a bad owner, but we have to be positive like Magic Johnson. We have to consider ourselves lucky to wake up every day rooting for this team and wanting to listen to AM 830 and 714 tickets for Halos in the Infield, not Roger Lodge, but Halos in the Infield. And you have to be positive that Artie Moreno will turn this ship around because he turned down $3 billion to be the owner for your Angels. And he said thank you to the fans by raising parking $10. He said thank you to the fans for spending so much money the last few years by saying nachos were $17. Well, now they're $21.50. And then he said thank you by saying beer was $14 for a tall can, by saying beer is now $16.50 for a tall can. Non-domestic. And he also said, you want a hot dog for $5? By all means, you'll get one for $6.50. And you'll like it. And you'll keep coming back to my stadium because I'm Artie freaking Moreno. And I raise prices for my benefit. And guess what? I made things more prettier for you when you come in and pay more money. Because why? The big A that the Cowboy built, that me, Artie Moreno, made so much better at AKA the Big A in Anaheim, is more red than you've ever seen it. It's redder. If redder is a word, then Artie Moreno invented it. It's redder. I have the redder stadium in all of baseball. The reddest. You can't beat the paint that I've put on the stadium, the Big A. It's just red. Red everywhere. Get your red on at Anaheim Stadium and Artie Moreno. Because when you come to Artie Moreno Stadium, you think of one thing. I'm going to have less money from when I came here from when I leave. Will I be satisfied? Probably not. But hey, Artie Moreno is your owner. Vote for Artie. Vote for Artie to not get indicted by the city of Anaheim. And also, vote for Artie to get the land that I want to get from the city for dirt cheap so that I can in turn charge the city more for when they want to build on it. And also, if you want to come to the games, I'll raise the prices probably another $5 next season just keep talking all that shit about Artie Moreno because Artie Moreno reads things. He hears things. I may drink a lot, Artie says, but I pay attention. So that's what Roger Loggins would say. Sorry, I went into that one. Also, Foot Todd right there, Grillmaster says, screw you. The chair says, Nolan Ryan left as a free agent. GM said we can get 3 to 5 pitchers to replace Nolan. Whoops. Yeah, you know what? I was wrong on that one. I forgot they didn't trade him. See, that's why we have James on this page too. James will correct anything because he's got that stump the Schwab. Like he knows everything, whether it's pop culture or sports. If I misquote a scripture even, he will nail it. He'll be like, no, that was Revelations 21:4, asshole. And he'll tell me. That's just James. But he knows. I knew there was a mistake that the Angels front office did right there. So I was wrong on the trade. But yes, they thought they can get more from them. Miracle Mets are the 1969 team. The 1986 were the Machine. Are you sure about that? I thought it was a Miracle Mets because the Hernandez play at first. But whatever. Hot take, Todd. That would have been the best Angels coach. Let's see. It would have saved that heartache from Buckner. The Buckner play. Also, Todd Fox, your thong bet has really cost us this series. No more jinxing. I'm sorry. The chair says Magic in deep. Magic all the way. Deep Magic scores. Yeah, he said that all the freaking time. Randy says, I paid $52 for 3 tall Modelos. True. The chair says, thank you, Randy, for mine. Got you next game. Park across the street for $5. Yes, Jack Chandler. This is the sad thing. At some point, it's not that it's $20 and it's like super outrageous, like the freaking Rams Stadium, SoFi. Like it's over $100 in most places to park there. I think it's $90 for basic parking or something like that, where you pay to park in someone's driveway or you just take public transportation. And you look at the overall parking lot of SoFi, whether it's a home game for the Rams or Chargers or even a concert, that thing is like half full. And there's a reason why it's half full. You're charging too much fucking money to park there. At least put it at $50 to $60. That would make sense. You're charging $100. Nobody wants to. Sometimes that's more than the tickets that you pay to get in. So I don't want it to get that way for Anaheim Stadium. I don't think it will. But you're still going to see cheapskates like myself be like, yeah, I'm going to take up Chandler and I'm going to go park for $5. Or go park over where Hooters used to be. Pay I think it's like $7 or $8. And you just walk yourself all the way over. It's a good little workout. Walk off a little bit of drinking. Why not? I don't want to be charged extra. I mean, come on. Seriously, you start charging more like this when you're winning and you're getting to the World Series or the playoffs consistently. You don't just say, screw the fans. Let me upcharge everything. It's like you already know you're making off like a bandit with all that merchandise. All those team stores. What do you think happens when you bring in a family? Your kids start bitching at you like, oh, we need a jersey. We need a hat. You wind up paying $40 for a fucking hat you can get for $20. You're always winning. You're always winning, Artie. Give the little guy a little something. Keep the parking at 10. Keep the beer low. Remember, that's when you started. When you started, it's like, I'm the new owner of the Angels, and the beer will never go up so that you can enjoy your time here at the Angels Stadium. That was Artie Moreno. You went back on your word years later because you heard all that shit talk, didn't you? All of a sudden, it's now prodding you in the side. Well, just win, baby. Talking about Al Davis, he had the freaking right attitude. Just win. Just win. You can't be talked shit against as an owner. You win, you're never going to be called out. You'll be praised. We'll actually cheer your slurred speech when you give something to Ohtani. Congratulations, Shohei Ohtani, for winning the MVP. And here's the trophy. And then we'd be like, yeah, way to go, Shohei. Way to go, Artie. You're the best owner. But no, when you come out there and you're the lazy-ass owner, the cheapskate that you are, the terrible person in the community, we're like, boo! You're like, why are you booing me? And he has slobber all over the microphone. And, they have to, wipe it down and shit before they give it to the next guy. So that's the whole experience with your boy, Artie Moreno. God, I can't stand that guy. Also, let's see. I parked near the Strauss Brewery in the back. That's not a bad spot right there. Where do you get your jerseys, Infinite One? I have a connection overseas. And yes, it's overseas. But these are legit jerseys. Ask anyone that's got them for me. But I usually slang these on the side, and I get them for dirt cheap because he gives me a freaking discount. So if you want one, I don't really like doing it too much because the last couple of years I had people just like, they couldn't wait 2-3 weeks because I tell them it's not like Fanatics where you get it like a couple days later, but you're paying 6 times the amount of what I'm offering. You know what I mean? But if you're a little patient, $20-$30 for a jersey, usually it's like $30. I can get it to you in like 3 weeks if you're patient. But if you want it now and you're like a millennial, then yeah, pay $134. Be my guest. Go buy one online. But if you want one, you can wait. Then there you go. Sorry. Todd, you should buy the Angels. Oh, I wish. Thomas says, 7-1 for tickets. 7-1 for tickets. Angels stink so bad we are talking about players before we were born. Well, that's when it was the good old days. That's literally going to happen when Ohtani leaves. GM thinks we can get 3 good pitchers. Laugh out loud, not. Yeah, that's the other thing. Artie's going to wind up saying, well, we saved all that money. Why have to spend it now? Let's see. I'd rather park at the Big A. I'd still rather park at the Big A, Hayes says. Jim says, on the bright side, look how much we're going to save by not having to pay double to the MLB for the postseason tickets. Jack says, dude, that Hooters was my go-to. Met Lee Hacksaw Hamilton there. I want to talk sports with you. I love that guy. Hacksaw was great. I buy the cheapest tickets and sit at the very bottom every time, so it balances out. So you're smart. And that's also smart to do if you want a promotion. Buy a few extra tickets, get a few extra bobbleheads. I hate how much things how much things are at the game. Also, Randy says, laugh my ass off. Todd is definitely broken. Bro, I got you loud. Fuck off my speaker. Sorry. Where's my City Connect at, fool? It can't. I have it here. I haven't sent it your way yet. Because remember, it was sent to Chase, and then Chase sent it to me. So I have it now. I got to send it to you. The way this team is playing, they've shown me patience. Well, you have to. Sonic says, I'm just going to sneak inside the stadium at 3 a.m. Just DM you, Todd. When will that jersey come in now? Oh, jeez. He says, by the way, Todd Fox, I'm the winner of the last year's giveaway for the Tim Salmon jersey. I hope you liked it. Because that was a hard jersey to get. That is like one of the only guys, like, seriously. It took me a while before I found that hookup. I would see those on eBay for $200, sometimes $300, and I was like, man, I am not going to pay that much for a 95 or 94. It was around that time. It was 93 to 95 jerseys because I love those, the California Angels, the white ones, and I have the road one, which I really like. But that home one, it always did something for me. I was like, man, that's one of my favorite jerseys. It was like on the Ken Griffey Jr. game on what do you call it, Super Nintendo. And I'm like, dude, I love that one. And then it was the featured jersey and hat in Angels in the Outfield. And so I was like, cool, man. Like this is what I want. And when my boy's like, oh, I can get that jersey for you. I'm like, no, you can't. And he showed me a picture. I'm all, oh, yes, you can. And for the price he gave me, I'm all, mm-hmm. So I had ordered like 2 or 3 of them. And then I had that extra Tim Salmon one. We kept trying to do that giveaway, and it just wouldn't work. And I guess Hayes got it last year. I remember now. Jim says Todd does the same. 400 tickets, GPS below, and gets a buffet too. Yeah, I go up top, and then Jim hooks it up down below. Callie says, I park my RV on Catella and ride my bike up to the stadium and lock it at the stadium railing at the entrance. Psych, even though it may be a good idea, though. Thank you, Todd. Well, thank you, Hayes, for participating in our games last year. 95s are my favorite. I think I may want a Logan in the 95 when he wins Rookie of the Year. That's pretty cool because when you get those customized jerseys, we can customize them too. And you put like a current player in one of those older jerseys, like these, like the one I'm wearing right now. The Angels, I don't think have ever bust them out since they did away with them. And if you put like a Trout in those, like I've seen some people do, that's pretty cool. Or you put like a Nolan Ryan, I've seen that too. I've seen a Reggie Jackson in one of these. Yeah, to see a Shohei in one of these, I haven't seen that yet. But if you put like a Shohei in one of those old 95 jerseys or the 60s jerseys or even Los Angeles, those are all great ideas. All because those are some that no one's had before. Okay, Big 20, call in 714-598-3221. You got to have faith, Big 20, that when I say, see, it's the Halo Honk line.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks! Angels find a new way to fucking lose.
Yes.
So, the offense is okay. It's just an off day, I think. But if he won the last two, I'll be like, okay, yeah, we lost. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that happens. But when we lose 3 in a row, it's painful.
Yep.
Like, we could have lost 3 of these games, man. Like, it's painful. But, yeah, that's how it is, I guess. But, oh, yeah, I wasn't here on the yesterday's show. I was here. I made some comments, but I wasn't able to call. But, yeah, Matt Tice, yeah, he's very good at framing, but he's not good at, being a catcher. I'm going to say that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, yesterday's game was so frustrating. I think we really, really needed a bounce back today. We needed to see this team score early and often, get a nice victory, and just be like, okay, let's salvage the series when Ohtani pitches. Now it's like you're looking at like, hey, can we just win one? And that's not what any of us thought going into this series. Like, we all thought they were going to at least split or take 3. And it's like, man, dude, it's so frustrating. And then you also look at the standings, and you're like, nobody's running away with the AL West no matter what, but nobody's off to a good start either. And we could be in a spot where, hey, we're off to a good start. We're up 3 or 4 games in first place, but nope.
Oh, yeah. Ohtani looks frustrated. Like, the day before, he looks pissed off. Today, he was pissed off as well. Like, really pissed off. Like, I never see him, pissed off. Like, today, he has no right to be pissed off because he was 0-4. Like, he struck out, 2 times, I think. No, he didn't get a hit, but he has no right to be pissed off. He wasn't clutch. Yesterday, he kind of had the right to be pissed off because he was 2-4, or I think.
Yeah.
And he was clutch. So yeah, you can be mad, but don't be mad when you're not clutch.
I agree because yesterday too. I mean, Trout had 3 hits, so I mean, he could be upset too about that game. But today, I mean, the combined Randy brought up they were 0 for 15. Neto, or take Neto away, and I think they were 0 for 11. So, I mean,
yeah,
him, Renfroe, and Ohtani. So, I mean, those are 3 big bats that you got to get at least 2 hits out of those 3 guys. Combined. Yeah. If you can get 2 hits, the game would have been completely different.
Yeah. So today he has no right. If he gets 13 Ks and 8 RBIs like he did last year, I'll probably destroy the whole locker room if he did that and the Angels somehow finds a way to lose.
Yeah.
Now I really want Max Stassi back because he's just really good with Ohtani. Everyone else, man, I want Ohtani, but we'll see how fast Max Stassi comes back. And yeah, I'm so confident in Rempifo. Okay, I think he's just to a bad start. Ohapi, yeah, he had some tough at bats, but he got a hit, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Neto, I think he came up a little too early. 40 games as a hitter, I don't think it's enough. Not 40 games, 40 games, right?
Yeah,
How many games? Yeah, 40. Yeah, that's way too early. We could, and I think today was a perfect day to bring up Ben Joyce. I really want Ben Joyce to be here. The velocity, yeah,
we just
like it.
We just don't know at this point how long it's going to be before we get any kind of because at one point you're saying, okay, we need Ben Joyce up, and some people were saying Neto, and I'm like, dude, I don't know. I just saw the picture Randy sent me. Sorry. He threw me off. But no, I mean, people were saying Neto's, we're gonna see him after, Ben Joyce. But now it's like you don't really know because Perry pulls strings that you're not expecting. We saw Silseth way before we thought we would see Bachman and a few other pitchers. So it's we're gonna have to wait and see. I mean, at this point, I don't doubt Perry. He can bring somebody up at any time. So
yeah, I don't know. I saw some comments saying people should the Angels should fire Perry, and I think they're a fucking idiot. Like, Perry's a genius, bro. Especially under Arden fucking Moreno. My God, he's pulling some strings I didn't even expect. But I really want him to bring up Ben Joyce because he already proved his
worth.
His worth. Like, he can come up to big leagues. Like, he already proved against spring training, especially during the USA exhibition game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's ready.
Okay.
He might have some rough games, but he's ready.
All right.
About the Matt Pike being a good framer, yeah, my bad. I'll retake that. I'll retract that statement. He needs to work on catching, or he needs to be DFA'd right now. Oh my God, it looks so bad.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's just sad because we're waiting on Stassi and we haven't had an update about him, so we don't know when he's going to be back. So, man. But good call, Supra, and hopefully tomorrow in the morning we'll do breakfast with Angels. Hopefully that'll inspire them, and we can get a W tomorrow because this sucks.
I live in the East Coast, so it's gonna be a little bit later for me.
Oh, okay.
So it's gonna be 11 p.m. Not 11 p.m. 11 a.m. So.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
It'll be brunch for you then. There you go.
Yeah, brunch. Well, let's hope we win tomorrow. We need run support for Ohtani.
Yep, we sure do. All right, Super. Have a good one, man.
You too. Bye.
All right, bye. All right, we'll take a couple more phone calls. 714-598-3221. There was a couple other calls coming in, but I could only take one at a time. Right, here's another one. It's the Halo Honk line.
Hey, Dodd. I'm just not seeing any consistency in the lineup. And Nevin, he's just trying to reach for these rookies when vets can't do much. And Neto, he really isn't doing much for the team, providing any runs. Where via Fletcher, we aren't. He may be bad, yes, but at least we are working with a vet and not a rookie.
True. I mean, the thing is, it's early in the season where I guess they want to test these dudes and see how they hit major league pitching or they pitch against major league hitting. But in a situation where if the team was riding high and they could just plug them into pressure situations, then I would be all for it. But it just seems like putting Neto at leadoff in Fenway is not too smart. Bringing in a reliever or a pitcher for the first time in Fenway or New York is not too smart. I would wait to do all these rookie experiments when they play Oakland and Kansas City.
Yeah, I would definitely see that. But working with people like Brett Phillips, who are rookies but have shown they can get the job done, those are rookies that I would be okay if they pulled Trout out for a game.
Well, Phillips is not a rookie. He's got experience, and yeah, I'm with you as far as pulling him out. Like if they need a defensive replacement or a base runner, it's just doing what he did today shows shades of Tyler Wade from last year, where Tyler Wade, Joe Adele would get thrown out by really dumb base running miscues, and in a situation in a one-run game, you got to let your hitter get a chance, whether he strikes out, pops out, grounds out, whatever. There's a chance he could put it in play and you could score with that speed, and you're taking yourself and the inning out of it. That was a kick in the balls.
And yesterday's game with Tice, I didn't see the end, but I saw updates on it. I was like, we're about to win, pick up a win. And then Tice just straight up shits the bed.
Yeah, I mean, we literally gave the Red Sox 5 outs instead of 3. And you give any team, no matter who they are, an extra out or two, you're asking for trouble.
I just feel like Stassi, even though he would have put the ball, not put the ball in play, but he wouldn't have pulled some bullshit like this, fight.
Yeah.
We should bring Wallach back. Bring Wallach. at least Wallach, he can put the ball in somewhat play, or make the sack fly.
Yeah, and I think Wallach also, he can work walks. Stassi can too. I think Stassi's a little bit better hitter, but I think calling a game, out of all 4 catchers we have in this organization that are legit or at least can play, I think Wallach calls the best game out of anybody. And he frames really good, and the pitchers just seem to be on, because you could say, well, he's only had a small sample with the Angels. Okay, well, if you look up his numbers and what the pitchers did in Miami when he played with Miami, whether it was AAA or on the major league roster, those pitchers tended to pitch and have better games and lower ERAs when he was behind the plate.
Yeah, Ohapi, though, is just lighting it up, and I can't wait to see what this kid has for the rest of the season.
Me too.
For us. Hopefully Ohapi can be our permanent starter next year.
Yeah, I mean,
and Walker can be a backup.
I think the sky's the limit with him, and I don't want to start talking about who they're going to add to go along with him because it's early in the season, but I think they desperately need someone to go up there to be a number 2. It can't be Theis. I mean, that Theis experiment should be in the trash after last night's game. Just torch it, man.
Yeah, and Suzuki actually decided to stay, so we actually have some vet helping our catchers. Like, this is just like, I don't know, it's weird for me.
Yeah, I got it. Hopefully if Suzuki's being a mentor, he could work with our boy Theis, because Theis has a lot to learn still. He's terrible.
Theis didn't just shit the bed. He straight up sharded in the bed.
Yeah. I mean, he did multiple rounds of sharding. He had Taco Bell sharding. So, all right, Landon, you have a good rest of your day, man. Thanks for calling in.
All right. Can't wait to see you when we're home again.
Yeah, I'll definitely come by and say what's up to you and your grandpa.
All right.
All right, brother.
Go Angels.
Go Angels.
Hopefully we can pick up another 4.
Exactly. Got to win tomorrow. All right, that was Landon right there. Also, Nats fan says tomorrow will be KFC rum in the front of the TV, chicken nuggets, and tequila. Do not work today. Ooh, that's a terrible combo. It's the Halo Hunk line.
What up, ToddFox? How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I mean, frustrated, man. We would have won 2 out of 3 against Red Sox, but fuck, man. The bullpen is shitting the bed. The hitters can't hit for crap.
Yeah.
It's just embarrassing, man.
It is. I mean, you could look at any other team. If they're playing one way one day and the next the other, okay, they have a bad day after a good game or whatever, but I would like to see more consistency. So if we're losing 5-3 or 6-4, stuff like that, I get it because we're in the game. We're pitching all right, but there's, a few things that happen. I get it. But you're scoring 11 runs losing, and then you score 1 run and lose by 1 run. I mean, we're constantly doing things to hurt ourselves in different ways, and that's making it very frustrating.
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, Whitlock has the same ERA as Devers, and we only got 1 run off of him.
Yeah, we made him look like an ace, right?
Yes.
So it's unfortunate.
And Bayo's picking tomorrow, but I mean, let's see how Ohtani does. Hopefully the lineup is better. I mean, Neto, to me, that's good. They put him as the leadoff, but to me, he should stay in the 9th spot.
Yeah. I mean, don't put pressure on the kid. Let him flip the lineup, or put him in the 8th or 9th spot. I agree, because in the 8th spot, you kind of give it to the table setter. If you're going to put Ohapi down there, he could be like another leadoff guy. But yeah, I mean, too much pressure today, man. And for him to go 0-4 and for him to make contact is actually good, because I didn't think he'd have any kind of contact today. I thought he would be, but it shows he's a good player. Just he was hitting the ball hard, and he had a lot of pressure on him today.
Yeah, it's some of these games, man. But it's winnable series. But I mean, the bullpen, the bullpen, and the lineups are shitting the bed. The hitting and the bullpen.
Yeah, I mean, it's outside of Suarez's bad starts. I mean, the Angels' starting pitching has been pretty darn decent. You know, Anderson didn't have the best day the other day, but you know, you're never going to be perfect. And so, I mean, you've had a couple bad starts, but for the most part, they pitched pretty good. So,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens, man. Any prediction on tomorrow? Do you think we get that W?
I think we get the W if Devers. I mean, if Otani goes on his game, I think we get a W.
Okay.
And the hitting goes a lot, but see what Nevin does. See what Nevin will do and manage the bullpen. Man, the bullpen's killing the Angels too.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer of pitching roles and where they need to be, and he's had them bouncing around again, you know, like they did in the first half of last year. Nobody having a set spot, so that's been frustrating.
Will Bayo's going to make his major league debut for Boston, but I mean, if the Angels could pull some runs off of him and Otani's on his game, give Otani some more innings. Let him pitch through the 8th or 9th inning. I mean, don't put in the bullpen. If he's on his game, just let him pitch. Let him go long.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So, all right, bro. Well, we'll see you tomorrow. Call in, and hopefully on an Angels victory, right?
Yeah, hopefully, man.
Yeah.
Let's see what lineup Phil Nevin puts in tomorrow.
That's going to be key. And if
to me, it's kind of awkward to me that they had Zach Neto as a leadoff. I mean, to me, he should be in the 9th spot and have him climb up when he's hitting to the first spot, to the leadoff spot.
Yeah, I've always been like that firm believer. If you got to start at the bottom, work your way up. You know, I don't like when teams will start a guy at leadoff or number 4 because he was like was crushing the ball in AAA. It's like, nah, dude, you got to earn that cleanup spot. You got to earn that number 5 spot. You know, start at the bottom and work your way up.
True.
Yep. All right, buddy.
All right, then. I'll call him tomorrow.
You got it, man. Look forward to it. We'll see you.
All right, see ya.
It's the Halo Hawk line.
What's going on, man?
What's going on, Big Randy?
Oh, you know, just enjoying some Angels baseball. I roll. Dude, I don't know. I mean, you got a couple of guys producing. I mean, but this team seems, I mean, overall, it seems like there's something not quite there. Now, I do got a feeling that these guys can turn it around. I mean, we got a squad of some professionals, man. I mean, I'm not going to overlook that, but man, right now it looks depressing. But if I can look at any kind of hope coming out of this, if this is us just getting the fucking hiccups out early in the season, then I'm all for it, man. And then let's just go to town this summer, huh?
Mm-hmm. I agree. I mean, like if you have a struggling April, but we can do a Mike Scioscia and clean up in May, get tuned up in June, and get on a roll in July and August and get set for September. Yeah, dude, I'm with you, Randy. I'll take that in a heartbeat. But we haven't had any kind of indication that that's going to happen, at least with this current organization.
Yeah. It just feels like the same old crap every single year, man.
Yep.
At least for the 7-8 years. I mean, it looked promising on paper, you know. I mean, it still kind of does. Like I said, I mean, you got to kind of hang your hat on it. You just got to hope these guys, I mean, these are professionals, man. I mean, it's not like we got Joe Schmoes out there. I mean, we got some pretty good guys out there. And I mean, if these guys can pick each other up, you know, lean on one another. And can I touch on, I'm going to touch on this because I feel like I got to say it, you know.
That's what she said. Go ahead.
Yeah, she says that a lot. But no, like, I'm a Phil Nevin supporter, and I don't care what anybody says. But, man, I got to call him out on some of his coaching decisions, man. Like, why are we running in certain instances, and why are we not running in others? It's like, it makes no sense. We're keeping guys in games longer than they should. We're going with guys. I mean, it's just, even myself, I just got to question it. It's like, damn, dude, like, I get it. You're coming on this will be your first full year, but man, dude, you've been a baseball coach for a while now. Like, some of these things should seem basic. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, you've been around the game enough to maybe understand, like, okay, like, this guy's struggling. Maybe I shouldn't go to him. This guy is used to this role. Maybe I shouldn't use him here. You know, this is where we're at in the count. Maybe I should send my fastest guy on the base. You know, we're 3-2, 2 outs. You know, why not send the guy, you know, and maybe possibly get a hit and run? That guy's at third, or depending on his speed, and depending on how that ball's hit, it could be a freaking run. Like, I just don't get it, Todd. I really just don't understand it. It's driving me, I'm gonna say it, fucking insane.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking insane.
Yeah. I mean, there's as baseball fans, we watch baseball enough to know that certain situations call for certain managerial moves and coaching moves, and like you said, they haven't happened at the clip we would expect them to. They haven't happened now to where it's like, okay, we're figuring in a situation where you're down a run, we should be moving runners. We should be trying to do certain things, bunting. That's just not in our vocabulary, like you brought up on the message thing all the time. Like, what's a bunt? And it's sad because it's basic baseball. It's the fundamentals that will get you wins. You know, it's not pretty. It's not sexy as the home run. But, dude, I'd rather see W's than captain solos every night, right?
Right. And I don't know, man. I've watched enough baseball in the last 30 years to see some pretty sexy bunt situations and score some runs.
Yeah.
And you know what? This whole growing the game, well, I'll tell you what, not scoring any goddamn runs ain't growing shit. Runs is what's gonna put butts in seats. If you're scoring, you're scoring enough runs, you're winning. It's all about scoring, man. And by any fucking means necessary, man. That's what I miss about my social days, man. Mm-hmm. You get them on, play some situational baseball on the base pass. You steal some bags. You get them from first to third. Get them in scoring position. And there's another thing. I've been saying this since the beginning of the fucking season. Runners in scoring position. We need to get fucking better.
Yes.
Fuck.
No, it's serious. Like, if you've ever gone to a game live, and I'm sure all of you have, if you see like base hit to center when you already have a runner on at first, if the ball drops in front of the outfielder, the first thing you look at is where is the base runner at? Is he stopped up at second, or did he go to third? Is he trying to get to third? Because then the outfielder is going to try to make a throw to third to hold him there, or to try to throw him out. And then obviously, if that throw gets away, he could go home. Or if it's thrown to third, the guy could stretch it into a double. There's so much that can happen if you force the issue, if you put pressure on the defense. Or say, for instance, you have a runner at second and you get a single into the outfield. All of a sudden, you're like, what's the third base coach? You look at the third base coach. Is he waving him in? Is he rounding third? Or is he going to hold him up? Is there going to be a play at the plate? It's exciting. To me, that's more exciting than a freaking solo home run. Okay, so you hit a solo home run. You're down 4-2. You still need 2 more runs. The bases are now empty. So I'd rather see guys get on, pressure the defense, pressure the pitcher, and go the other way. Keep the guys running around the bases like you mentioned Mike Scioscia baseball was. Because that kind of baseball has been missing for some time.
And you can correct me if I'm wrong, and they can in the chat too. But do the current rules not help guys, steal more bags? I mean, does it not indicate, hey, let's see some more offense? I mean, you're limiting. I see Maverick's pissed off too. But I mean, does it not, warrant more bag stealing? I mean, you're limiting pitchers how many times they can throw over. I mean, we got some speed on this team, dude. Fucking use it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing that I've been screaming at too, but we have so many guys that are either on contracts that don't want to risk injury, or superstars that you quote unquote don't want to put them in that position. Yet, obviously, if you make 2 throws over to first base, like you said, it's a guaranteed, like literally, bro. And I don't know why I haven't seen it yet, but you can start walking to second base. The pitcher has to throw home. He can't stop what he's doing and throw over. That would be illegal. You would get granted the base anyway. You could have a 10-foot lead and just start taking off in the windup. They don't do it. It's given to you.
It's frustrating, man. And, I don't want to hear about, saving guys because of injuries. I'm sick of bulls. Quit playing fucking scared because, if that's how we're going to play, then we ain't never going to win a championship.
Bro, if we're going to go down with injuries, I'd rather go down with legit injuries. I don't want to go down with, Rendon kind of, or Bradley fell over the wall. He broke his elbow. Or so-and-so strained himself working out. I'd rather say, hey, man, Rendon went out because, he nailed the catcher at home. Or he slid in trying to take that extra base. He was safe, but the guy stepped on his arm or something, right? Like, I'd rather that happen. You know what I mean? Because we're going to pick up injuries regardless, in my opinion.
Right. It's a long season. That's just part of the game,
Yep.
Always has been, always will be. These guys aren't robots yet.
Yeah, umpires first, then players.
Right, dude. You're right. If you're going to go down, go down with an actual baseball injury, and in the field injury, and on the job injury. Go out playing hard, doing what you do. It's like you said, don't go out like Archie freaking Bradley, where over the freaking wall like a dumbass, and then you never see the freaking field again. Now that anyone wants your ass back, and nobody wants you back. You barely signed a minor league deal now. Like, get out of the city, bro. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they got, man. It's just been frustrating, but like I said, man, we could just hang our hats on. This team just hopefully getting this crap out of the way early in the season, and just maybe getting hot at the right time. Let's just hopefully have a fun summer, man. But tough task. Got the Yankees ahead, and we got to finish a stupid Boston series. At this point, man, it's almost like we're going to get swept. This has just not been a fun series. So looking forward to just getting onto the Yankees, even though it's going to be a tough one. And then we got the Royals at home. So, let's just put this shit behind us and move on and hopefully maybe start winning some games, man. And I hope you enjoyed that new T-shirt design, brother.
Oh, that T-shirt's hot, dude. I want to print. That's going to be the first one we print.
All right, brother. I appreciate you taking my call, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, Randy. You have a good one.
All right, you too, brother. Bye.
All right, later. All right, I got a couple more minutes. Well, let's take this call because this caller's been calling a lot. It's a Halo Honk line.
Is this a Halo Honk line?
This is the Halo Honk line.
This is Jim from Catella High School, class of 75.
All right, Jim.
Home of Jim the Anvil Neidhart, Jared Wright, and Russell Wilson from the old New Orleans Saints.
Okay. Fantastic.
And they used to give us Lucky Charms for breakfast there.
Jeez, Lucky Charms. That goes back.
Hey, got a quick question. Everybody's pimping out Adele for the outfield, but our positions are pretty well locked up. How many options does he have left?
From what I saw, he either has 2 or 1, depending if they counted 1 last year. I think he might only have 1 option left, to be honest.
Uh-huh.
So if he's going to come up this time, there's a real chance that if he's sent down again, teams will have the advantage of saying, hey, well, if we're trading for him, we're not going to give you as much. At least he still has 1 or 2 options left, I believe.
That's kind of what I was thinking. He's still got a little potential on the market, but we saw him last year. He's, in my opinion, a defensive liability.
Yep.
And Tice, he's a throwaway.
Mm-hmm.
If we could package something with those two, get rid of them, get something back. I'm a Wallach fan. Don't know if you know or not, his dad, Tim Wallach, probably one of the greatest baseball teachers around.
Mm-hmm.
Coached for a long time, and his kid gets special attention. So, I really, really like Wallach and O'Hoppe. Sassy, I feel the same way about him as you.
Yeah. And if anyone would know or seen Adele's movement in left field, it's you. You're out there pretty much, checking out his left field status the entire time, the way he makes routes to the balls. And I agree. Last year would have been the year to trade him before the season started, but now he's had a resurgence in the minors, and he's probably turning some heads. So if he is, get on the phone. Be the aggressive one this time. Don't wait for teams to call you. Call them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And our closer throwing 94 miles an hour, that ain't cutting it.
Nope.
It's got to be upper 90s. It's got to be upper 90s. Maybe package something like an Adele, a hitter. Get us a real closer. That we can use right now. The other positions, they're locked up.
Yep, they sure are. And that's also due to Adele's inexplicable play, because we wouldn't have had to go out there and get a Renfroe if Adele was feeling into the player that he should be.
Absolutely. So I'm going to let some other callers jump on in here. I'm not going to ramble on. Just wanted to give a couple of my takes.
Well, thank you for calling, Jim. And you're awesome. We love you and everything. And we'll see you in left field in the next homestand.
Absolutely. Chicken tacos.
There you go. Gotta love that Poyle.
Anybody come by and say hi, and I'll make you a chicken taco.
Yes, look for Jim in the big sheriff's hat. You can't miss him. And sometimes he wears that Packers jackets on cold nights, so you really can't miss him.
Well, I'm sensitive, you know.
Yeah. In what way, officer?
Oh. Olay.
There you go. All right, buddy. Have a good one.
I'll talk to you later, Todd.
All right, we'll see you. Actually, that will be the last call today because I got to run. I just realized I've been on here for an hour and a half. So that's the frustrating. We tend to talk a lot longer when the team loses. So everybody out there, I enjoyed the phone calls, enjoyed the freaking messages. It's awesome as always, the takes and everything. We will be back tomorrow and early. I think me and James are going to hook up for the Breakfast with the Angels pregame show, and then we'll get into the game afterwards with the postgame show. I might have him join me too for the closeout postgame as well. So with that being said, everybody have a good rest of your Sunday, and hopefully you guys can play hooky and watch some Angels baseball tomorrow, and we can actually salvage a win as I was going to say the GOAT, but he is the unicorn. Pitches tomorrow. All right, let me take this call real quick because it's Hammer. Hammer time, you got like a minute, bro. I got a jam.
Hey, Todd.
Yes.
What happened today?
A loss. That's what happened today.
Yeah, but it's a good Sunday, and I didn't party last night because it got shut down right when I got there. So I was going to a party, but it got shut down right as I got there. And then, yeah, so today I'm just chilling, watching baseball, watching Astros hopefully beat the Rangers tonight so we still have a chance to win. And then tomorrow just starting online school and hopefully getting a job and telling her I can work weekdays in the morning because I'm going to be doing online school. And yeah.
Well, let me know how that goes with the job and the online stuff, man, because hopefully that's better for you and you don't have to deal with those morons. So.
Yep, that will be better for me probably. And next year I'm staying online, so it's going to be better for me the next 2 years. And then I'm done with high school, so it's going to be awesome.
Well, just avoid those Shirley Temple checkpoints. You'll be fine.
Yep, I will.
All right.
And then I drive after summer, so I'm hyped about that. I don't have to deal with anyone except girls in my car. Oh, yeah, girls. Get in my car. Oh, yeah.
Well, usually you have to this is going to sound very sexist, but usually women are the ones that are the problem on the road. But, yeah, if you have them in the car, that's better. So
yeah. So girls are going to be in my car, but maybe some of my friends, who knows? We'll see. I might just be like, nah, get out of here. I'm trying to hook up with the girl tonight. Like, get out of my car, boy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You got it, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, have a good rest of your Sunday. I'll call in tomorrow after the early game, and I'll be watching Ohtani pitch because I'm getting my stuff ready. And hopefully we at least win one game and we don't get swept in Boston heading into the Yankee Stadium. So go Angels, and I'll call in tomorrow. Oh, yeah.
You got it, brother. You guys have a good rest of your evening. All right? Okay, there goes Hammer. So with that being said, we're on our way out. Hopefully the Angels can pick up that win tomorrow and get that and not have a and they could step up, you know what I mean? They could play better than
like a blind man at an orgy. I was going to have to feel things out. Like a midget at a urinal, I was going to have to stay on my toes.
And they could always.
Well, Dick, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
That's going to be Ohtani. Pissing excellence tomorrow. So go Angels and have a good rest of your Sunday. 714 Tickets is a place to be to get your tickets to go tonight by buying today. Have a good one.